to what's happening.
A good place to start on your road trip into the future is on the road. What will tomorrow's wheels be like? How about a vehicle that uses the most abundant element in the universe as a fuel? Its only emissions are water vapor and a little heat. It's twice as efficient as today's combustion engines, and you can refuel the vehicle at home. No fantasy. Just such test vehicles are already on the road. Get ready for the hydrogen revolution.
The hydrogen fuel cell vehicle is going to do to today's cars and trucks what today's cars and trucks did to the horse and buggy of 100 or 150 years ago. It is a completely revolutionary approach to automotive transportation.
Right now, nearly every major automobile manufacturer in the world is working on hydrogen fuel cell technology. The technology that could begin to supplant gas-burning vehicles in the next 15 to 30 years.
A fuel cell vehicle essentially is an electric vehicle, but instead of using a battery to provide the power, it uses a fuel cell to generate electricity on board. These are very high-performance cars. They have great get-up-and-go, wonderful acceleration, and really good driving performance.
This is General Motors' Hydrogen 3 vehicle. This is not a conventional vehicle, but a fuel cell vehicle powered by hydrogen. The hydrogen is stored in the back where the gas tank would normally be, and under the hood is a fuel cell. Now, the fuel cell system combines hydrogen and oxygen to make electricity, which powers the vehicle. The waste product is water, which goes out the tailpipe, and heat, which is thrown overboard in the radiator.
A fuel cell will continue to produce electricity as long as oxygen and hydrogen are supplied. Fuel cells are different from batteries in this respect. Batteries are self-contained and eventually run down if not recharged. A common type of fuel cell uses a proton exchange membrane, which is sandwiched between two electrodes. Hydrogen gas is fed to one side, while oxygen is fed to the other. The hydrogen atoms are attracted to the oxygen atoms. But the membrane only allows the positively charged hydrogen protons through. The electrons have to take the long way around. This flow of electrons generates an electrical current. Although the basic concept of fuel cells dates back to the 1890s, it wasn't until the 1960s that fuel cell technology really took off.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
NASA, looking for an alternative to heavy batteries, used fuel cells on the Gemini missions, and later on the Moon missions, and eventually on the Space Shuttle missions. One side benefit, the byproduct of the fuel cell is drinkable water. But back on the ground, this car can go 96 miles an hour and performs like a conventional minivan. It's impressive, but engineers still have several technical speed bumps to overcome before you're kicking the tires of your new fuel cell vehicle.
The challenges that confront us right now are onboard storage of hydrogen. How much hydrogen can you store on board a vehicle to give it the range that it needs? We have to lower component costs so this vehicle is more affordable. A robust national refueling infrastructure is also extremely critical.
Hydrogen can be produced from diverse sources, including coal and natural gas. Hydrogen can even be produced by electrolysis, passing an electric current through water to break its molecules apart into hydrogen and oxygen gas. It could be what frees the country from dependence on foreign oil. But today, hydrogen production isn't as green as it might seem. Right now, most commercially produced hydrogen comes from natural gas. If fossil fuels are used in the production of hydrogen and the process generates air pollutants, we're perhaps no better off. That's why the goal of many environmentally conscious researchers is eventually to produce hydrogen entirely from renewable sources.
Renewable sources include wind energy, solar energy, geothermal, ways of making electricity. And of course, that electricity then can be used to produce hydrogen from water.
Another challenge is building a hydrogen infrastructure from the ground up. California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger believes he has the answer.
I will sign an executive order creating a public and private partnership that will create hydrogen highways all over the state of California by the year 2010.
Governor Schwarzenegger's plan for a hydrogen highway calls for 150 to 200 hydrogen refueling stations strategically placed along California's highways. Fueling stations along major highways will be essential for long-distance travel. But for most in-town commuters, Honda has a plan to make filling up even easier. As easy as a trip to your garage. Honda's home energy station connects to a home's natural gas line and is capable of producing hydrogen for fuel cell vehicles. A stationary fuel cell could even power the house. Although there are test vehicles on the road and several infrastructure plans in progress, it'll still be a while before you can fuel your car with hydrogen. Fuel cells are still extremely expensive. If a hydrogen fuel cell car was for sale today, it'd probably cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Time and technological breakthroughs will bring prices down, but it could take 15 to 30 years before practical and affordable hydrogen fuel cell vehicles are available to the public. Hopefully, the promise of a hydrogen economy is worth the wait.
The idea of being able to have pollution-free driving and, in fact, have a diverse source of hydrogen, I think, is pretty darn exciting, and I think people would love that. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't help you with the congestion, so you wouldn't be able to go faster anywhere.
That's when a future flying car would really come in handy.
Right now you have three different kinds of vehicles. You've got a car that goes along the ground, you've got an airplane that takes you from point to point, and then you've got these huge government-financed things that take us up into space. The future brings us the convergence of those three vehicles into one.
A car, plane, spaceship. That could reduce a commute from Boston to New York City from 4 hours to 45 minutes. So how do we get the wheels of technology turning?
Well, the real issue is how do we get rid of the wheel? Because the wheel is the cause of tremendous friction. With nanotechnology, one of the things that we may be able to do is get rid of pavement by implanting the maglev repulsion wires in the grass and turn our highways into grass.
Every car will be networked. Vehicles will run on automatic pilot, allowing cars to travel closer together and at incredible speeds. So say goodbye to speeding tickets and traffic accidents. In the future, there's no such thing as speed limit.